Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now I'm pleased to be joined by a dynamic father-son filmmaking duo who have been making waves in the film industry with the release of their latest movie, Runs in the Family. Please help me welcome Gabe and Ian Gabriel, who will be joining us to share their insights on identity, particularly Gabe's journey as a trans man. Welcome to The Loft.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
Now, touching base with you, Gabe, your story is one of bravery, it's one of courage and creativity. Has there been any standout moments or experiences during your transition and your owning who you are in this new identity that has shaped exactly who sits in front of me today?
Yes, I think it's a twofold answer, if I may. The first comes from childhood. My dad always encouraged me to find stories and use my imagination to think up characters and things, and I think that just sort of broke me out of the possibilities of who I could be growing up, and so I would wear this like fake beard and dress up in his clothes, and he totally encouraged that. So that informed me as a storyteller, but also as being comfortable to come out as trans. And the second part of the answer is that right after I came out as trans, I was immediately offered a gig directing a rom-com, a gay rom-com, which was really fun, and being given that opportunity, which is so rare for trans people to get work after they come out, really informed my certainty that I'm going to be a trans filmmaker and I'm going to tell queer stories and I'm going to tell all stories from the perspective of a trans person.
I can only imagine just that reassurance that gave you, that I am in the right place and I am doing the right thing. But Ian, as a father, would you say, number one, how was your first initial reaction when Gabe did come out to you about his transition? And number two, how has that perspective now evolved during the journey?
Well, you know, I'm a father, and I think all parents love their children in every single way they possibly can. So when my son told me what he was going to do, I immediately felt very protective.
Yeah.
Because I imagined that maybe he'd get hurt or something would not be good for him. But I wanted him to do what he wanted to do. And I must say, I've discovered that Gabe is the best possible person he can be. He's come fully into his own. I'm very proud of him. And I know what he did was the best for himself, and therefore the best for me and my family as well.
Oh, that level of acceptance from a father, I'm sure, is unmatched. I get emotional just thinking about it. And now you both have come together on an incredible project, Run in the Family. Tell us all about it, and how was it like working side by side?
We were talking about how to get a film made together because we're both filmmakers and we've collaborated a lot in the past. And we decided to make a film that was very loosely based on us. I mean, the storyline is not true at all, but the two people, this father with his own identity, mixed heritage identity in South Africa, and also this trans son, they go on a road trip and they end up doing a drag show together, and it's a lot of fun and they learn a lot more about each other. But it doesn't come from a place of trans trauma, it comes from a place of trans family bonding and love and celebration, exactly. More than just acceptance, it's celebration.
Beautiful. And for yourself?
Well, you know, as well as representing Gabe's story and how well I thought that story evolved, I was also delighted to be to see the dad represented as an Indian dad, because when I grew up, I was passing as white, but I wasn't white. So my identity for a long time had to be, I chose to disguise my identity.
Wow.
And I now choose to not disguise it any longer, because I now know that I'm fine. So this question of identity digs deep into both our histories.
Yes.
And the more we can reveal it, the more we can be ourselves, the better we become.
And the more we share these stories, the more many more people can relate to it. I mean, taking this conversation a step further, it's twofold. For you, Gabe, first and foremost, you spoke about communicating and telling the stories of not only just the Rainbow Nation, but the LGBTQI plus community, and why that is so important to you. How then does that inform your writing and your filmmaking? And secondly, for yourself as a dad, what advice do you have for other parents out there who might have a trans child?
Well, I think it is, you know, wanting to tell the story of queer South Africans, LGBTQIA plus South Africans. We have so many stories, and I think the more that are out there, the more people will see us as human. So if you only have one idea of of what it looks like to be trans, what it looks like to be gay or intersex or what have you, then it kind of limits your ability to take care of other communities that are different from yourself. So if we use storytelling to show that we can be all sorts of different types of ways and people as the queer community, then I think people can tap into the ways that they can relate to us. So someone who doesn't have my identity experience at all might watch our film, for example, and identify with the anxiety that my character has, or with the humor that my character has, and see a piece of themselves in this person who's different to them. And through that, we can hopefully make the world safer for our community.
Absolutely. And finally, Dad?
Well, you know, there's a lot of what happens in the film which I think is all about how similar we actually all are. We think, oh, this person's so different from me, this person's so different from me because they're this or they're that. But actually, the dad is like a whole lot of dads, the kid is like a whole lot of kids. The relationship is like a whole lot of family relationships. So I like to say we're unique, but we're not that unique that we're not also incredibly alike as a species.
Yeah. Well, we all are part of the human race. Thank you, gentlemen, so much. Gabe and Ian's relationship and collaboration not only enriches the world of cinema, but it also fosters important conversations about identity, acceptance, and representation. See you in a bit.